What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, January 17th, 2020. I hope you're doing well. Pullback to the $7,500 area, around 15% to the downside. Remember, this is not financial advice. I have to throw that out there. This is just my read on the charts, and this could pose some nice opportunity for Bitcoin in a potential long-term reversal that we have going on right now. So let's jump into the charts. I want to throw this out there. First off, 15% to the downside might sound like a lot. $7,500 might sound, like a big dip, but it's really not that big. If we're looking at where we are right now in this daily candle, it's around 15% down to this 50 moving average, the blue line. Now, there's a lot of confluence happening at that area, and that's what I want to talk about. And before we dig into that, I just want to point out, we had this head and shoulders we've been tracking for Bitcoin that failed, right? It failed in maybe mid-January off of this neckline. We got the bounce, and then we started talking about this right shoulder swing high being broken. That puts in play a busted head and shoulders with a breakout target up here, 10,600 or so. And that's still in play. Even with the 15% dip, we're still looking at that, right? We're looking for this reversal. We're looking for this series of higher highs and higher lows above this 50 moving average now. And that is the first step that Bitcoin needs to see to reversal. Obviously, Bitcoin's made some gains compared to altcoins. It doesn't look like much, some altcoins, but this could be the beginning of what Bitcoin needs. So let's look at this for a second here. So looking at three areas on this chart: Fibonacci retracement area, the neckline of inverse head and shoulders, and a 50 moving average, right? So here's what we have going on. Pretty much this green box says it all. And so first off, we have our Fibonacci retracement from the swing low in the beginning of January when Bitcoin started moving and broke actually the 50 moving average, that blue line, to this previous swing high that we just had right below the 200 moving average. Keep an eye on that resistance right around $9,000, 200 moving average, the red line. And now we have our Fibonacci retracement channel down here, right? And it's the 618 to 786, and we're looking at around $7,300 to around $7,700 or so. Right in the middle of that, $7,500 is the 50 moving average. And also confluent with all of these things is essentially this inverse head and shoulders, right? Neckline that we have right here running also through that Fibonacci. So there is a lot of things happening right in that channel right there, and it would pose the best area of potential support for a Bitcoin pullback. Now, in a bearish environment, if Bitcoin is to see, new lower lows from mid-December, and we go into the low 6,000s or even the 5,000s down here, many bearish people might say that's a possibility, and it is a possibility, but this entire channel is the one channel that will be failing if Bitcoin does reverse back down. In a bullish environment, Bitcoin will bounce off of this channel somewhere up here, the top end of the channel, $7,700, or even the lower end, $7,300, right? Bitcoin can fall below the 50 moving average slightly and then maybe get a bounce back up and then continue an uptrend. So that channel for me is a really huge area that I'm just anticipating. I'm waiting to see what happens because I think it's really going to tell the story for what happens next for Bitcoin. Now, going over to this chart, I just want to show you just two areas because this is kind of where we are. In a continued downtrend, I mentioned that we have this 200 moving average resistance Bitcoin just saw. In a continued downtrend, you're going to see a strong bounce off of that area, right? So we'd get the bounce off of that 200 moving average right through this support that we need to hold. And it would look something like this. In the middle of the bear market, Bitcoin was seeing that resistance off of that 200 moving average, right? Resistance there, resistance here, resistance right below there. And it kept failing to stay above the 50 moving average. Now that's in a bear market, downtrend. We're in a different environment now for Bitcoin where we have the halving coming up. We've already went through the bear market. We put in our low of the bear market in December 2018. Bitcoin's in a different position right now. And, those are some things to keep in mind. So I'm not necessarily saying we're going to get a huge, strong resistance off the 200 moving average here at the red line and then continue down really strongly. However, it's probably the best area to really help us differentiate the health of Bitcoin and the health of the Bitcoin bulls. So that's kind of what we're looking at the end of this. At the end of the day, we still have our bull market doors on the screen all the way up here, $13,000 up to $16,000 or so. That's where we need to get to. That's where Bitcoin needs to get to enter that bull market. And we want to see higher highs and higher lows above that area to really define this as a bull market. We have a ways to go. We're on the weekly chart right now. Bitcoin's doing its thing. It's telling the story of how we're going to get there. We just have to keep watching. Let me know your thoughts below. How are you feeling, bullish or bearish? If you're here and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way out. It means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, and God bless.